Hello students, welcome to the new lecture, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about the chloroplast and the mechanism of the photosynthesis. Okay, first what is chloroplast, where it is present? First you should know about what is meant by chlorophyll and chloroplast. So chlorophyll, okay, so the chlorophyll, it is a pigment. Chlorophyll is a pigment, and chloroplast, okay, so the chloroplast is an organelle. So it is a pigment. Pigment means what? Pigment means color, and chloroplast is a organelle. So organelle is present in the cell. So chloroplast and chlorophyll. So here we are saying the chloroplast. Chloroplast means we are going to discuss about the organelle. So this chloroplast, it is a organelle. It is present in the cell. Let us consider this is the leaf. Okay, the leaf is going to have the number of cells. The leaf is going to have the number of cells. If you take out one cell, it is looking like this, and the cells of the leaf is going to have different structures. Different structures are present. They are known as organelles. These, let us consider this organelle is the chloroplast. Okay, chloroplast is the organelle looking in this way. Okay, if you maximize, it looks in this way. So this chloroplast is going to have the chlorophyll. It is going to have the different structures and so on. So this chloroplast is a three-membrane structure. We will discuss how the three-membrane and so on. So this is, if you see this diagram is a chloroplast. Okay, this diagram is a chloroplast. This diagram is going to have different structures. The outer membrane, okay, the outer membrane. So the outer membrane and also inner membrane. So outer membrane, and it is going to have the inner membrane. So two membranes are present. The third membrane is known as grana. Okay, what is meant by grana? So the grana is nothing but, first of all, before discussing the grana and so on, we will discuss about the stroma one by one. So the chloroplast is going to have the outer membrane, okay, and also inner membrane, which is present a little bit inside. This is known as inner membrane. So this is the first, second, third membrane. How the third membrane is formed, we will discuss after a moment. So see here, the fluid which is present in it is known as stroma. Stroma means the fluid filled portion of the chloroplast. It contains many enzymatic reactions. It is known as stroma. So what is meant by enzymatic reactions? Enzymatic reaction means some functions will be occurring. Example, glucose molecules. These are the glucose molecules. These glucose molecules are going to turn into starch. Okay, so the starch. What is starch? So starch looks in this way. These are the chain of the glucose molecules with branch structure. It is known as starch. So can you see here, the glucose molecules, individual molecules are going to turn into a complex sugar. Simple sugars are converting into complex sugars. That is known as enzymatic function. This is one type of enzymatic function. There are different types of enzymatic functions are there. So here the enzymatic functions are going to occur in the stroma. So this is about stroma. Next is the thylakoid membranes. So thylakoid membranes are nothing but a flat disc-like structure or flat sac-like structure. They are known as thylakoid membranes. Can you see here? They are looking like coins placed one above the other. That is known as thylakoid membranes. When the thylakoid membranes are placed one above the other like stacking of coin, that is known as grana. That is known as grana. So now here this grana is a third layer. This grana is the third layer. Here you can see the grana is present in this way. Okay, the grana is present in this way. So this grana is nothing but stacking of thylakoid membranes. It is acting as a third layer of the chloroplast, and this grana are connected with a stroma lamellae. Stroma lamellae is nothing but the connections between the grana is known as stroma lamellae. Okay. So here in the last class we have discussed, okay, I think we are going to discuss in the second chapter. Okay, in the second chapter you will study about the hemoglobin. Let us consider this is the RBC. RBC contains a pigment known as hemoglobin. So that is known as hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin contains 4 subunits. They are containing 4 subunits. Each subunit is going to contain the iron atom. So in the same way, the chloroplast is going to have the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast. So this is chlorophyll. So this chlorophyll also containing the subunits. Instead of iron, they are going to have the magnesium. Instead of iron, they are going to have the magnesium. So that is about the difference between the hemoglobin and also chlorophyll. Again, we will discuss about the difference in the second chapter. Okay. So here the thylakoid membranes is over. So next is stroma thylakoids. These are the intermediate joinings or the connections between the grana is known as stroma thylakoids. So magnesium is present in the chlorophyll like iron present in the hemoglobin. Remember, magnesium is present in the chlorophyll and iron is present in the hemoglobin. So there are two types of chlorophyll. The two types of chlorophyll is there, that is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Okay, the chlorophyll is of two types. Okay, so chlorophyll A and also chlorophyll B. So chlorophyll A is blue green in color. Okay, so again a small trick to remember. So what letter comes after A? Letter is blue. Letter B comes after A. Okay, so write G. What here also the B, in the B there is a small trick that is to remember, that is known as okay yellow and green. So remember, after A, B comes, so write B and G. G should be all the time, G should be there. Why? Because chlorophyll is green in color. So B for blue, okay, B for blue, G for green. Okay, so it means that chlorophyll A is blue green in color. So if chlorophyll A is blue green in color, the chlorophyll B should be yellow green in color. Okay, so let us consider in this case opposite for the blue is yellow. Okay, opposite for the blue is yellow, and in the case of chlorophyll B, yellow and green color is present, and in the case of chlorophyll A, blue and green is present. Okay, so this is a small trick to remember. And next is the about 250 to 450 pigment molecules act as a light harvesting complex. It means these many colors, these many pigment molecules or colors are acting as a light harvesting complex. They are going to trap sunlight for the photosynthesis. Okay, so this chlorophyll appears completely different from the other organelles. So this is the reason, due to such kind of complex actions, they are going to look different. Okay, several events occurs in the chloroplast during the photosynthesis. So example, the one is a conversion of light energy into chemical energy. Next is splitting of water molecule and reduction of the carbon dioxide to carbohydrates, etc. These all are the several functions. Okay, so next here you can see the splitting of water molecule. What is water molecule? Here you can see H2O molecule is broken down into H plus and OH minus ions. Okay, so OH minus ions. H plus means hydronium ion, OH means hydroxyl ion. So this is a splitting of water molecule that we will discuss after a moment. It is also known as photolysis of water. Next, reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. So carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrates. It is used to form C6H12O6. How this carbon is coming? This carbon is coming from the carbon dioxide. So this is the reduction of the carbon dioxide. Reduction of the carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Okay. Light is required to initiate several events like starting of the photosynthesis. Several may be continued even in the absence of sunlight. That is captured light helps in the events in the dark reaction. So some light is used for the starting of any reactions in the photosynthesis, and sometimes this light is stored. Okay, so whatever changes that is occurred in the light reaction is used for the actions in the dark reaction. So remember, dark reaction is nothing but it is an independent of light. Okay, independent of light, that we will discuss after a moment. So here the light independent events or reactions are called light reactions that occurs in the grana. In the grana, just now we have discussed, in the grana, so the chlorophyll is present. In the grana, the chlorophyll is present and is going to activate in the presence of sunlight only and involves in the photosynthetic process. Light dependent events or reactions are called dark reactions and occurs in the stroma. Okay, so light independent means no requirement of light. So mechanism of photosynthesis. There are two types of photosynthesis, two subunits in this topic. That is light independent reactions and also light dependent reactions. So these two are the main topics of the mechanism of photosynthesis. Light dependent reaction is also known as photochemical phase. So photochemical phase means what? Here the light is required, that is photo. Chemical means it is used for the production of the chemical substance, that is that is nothing but glucose. Hence we are calling it as a photochemical phase. The phase is nothing but a stage. Okay, so with the help of light some chemical substance is produced. That stage is known as photochemical stage. Okay, here the light dependent reactions. What is light dependent? Light is necessary for this reaction. So it is going to occur in the chloroplast and this phase is initiated by the light, hence called as light dependent reaction. It is going to occur in the thylakoid membranes of the chloroplast, or you can say the thylakoid membranes of the grana. So light reactions takes place in the chlorophyll which is present in the thylakoids known as grana. So there are three steps. So the step one is the activation of the chlorophyll. So chlorophyll will get activated, activated by absorbing sunlight. So next is step 2. In the step 2 we will see that photolysis. Okay, we will see photolysis of water. Just now we have discussed what is photolysis of water. Water will be broken down into H plus and OH minus ions. So this is known as photolysis of the water. It is also known as Hill's reaction. Why? Because Robert Hill he showed this reaction, hence it is discovered by the Robert Hill, hence it is also known as Hill's reaction, and this is also known as photolysis of water. So here we are calling it as a photolysis. What is meant by photolysis? Photo means light, lysis means breakdown. It means by using sunlight we are breaking the water molecule, that is known as a photolysis of water. Okay, here remember H plus and OH minus ions are formed after the photolysis of the water. So next is the step 3. In the step 3, so the series of step undergoes, there is undergoing of a series of steps to produce water and also oxygen. Just now we have discussed water is broken into H plus and OH minus ions. Okay, they are going to undergo a series of steps. They are undergoing a series of steps. Here you can see H plus ions. Okay, it is going to bind with OH minus ions, some other OH minus ions to produce water. Okay, and here the OH minus ions, okay, it is going to lose, one oxygen, it is going to lose a hydrogen. Okay, it is going to lose minus hydrogen. So as a result oxygen is formed. This oxygen will bind with another oxygen to form O2, and this oxygen is useless for this reaction, for this stage or at present. So it is going to eliminate it out of the leaf in the form of through the stomata. Okay, through the stomata this oxygen is going to come out. So remember, hydrogen is going to bind with another OH molecules to form water. This water is useful for the biological process in the leaf. Next is the OH minus ions. Here is the OH minus ions. In this OH minus ions, oxygen is going to get separated, and this oxygen will combine with another oxygen to form O2, and this O2 will come out of the stomata. Okay, so this is how oxygen is released. Remember now, oxygen is produced during the photosynthesis, with the help of breakdown of the water. Okay, with the help of breakdown of the water. Okay, so some students are thinking that carbon dioxide, so the splitting of the carbon and oxygen, this oxygen is releasing out, but this kind of thinking is wrong. How the oxygen is produced? Oxygen is produced by breakdown of the water or photolysis of the water. Okay, so next, hydrogens are taken up by the NADPH. Some hydrogens are taken up by the NADPH, and they are going to turn reduced into NADPH. Okay, NADP is going to turn into NADPH. Okay, it is a reduced form. It is going to store some amount of energy. Okay, next ADP is going to turn into ATP. Okay, ADP, here you can see ADP plus inorganic phosphate going to turn into ATP. Okay, so it is also formed. Assimilatory powers. This NADPH plus ATP, NADPH plus ATP, both are known as assimilatory powers. So they are used for the next reaction or next stage, that is known as light independent reaction or biosynthetic phase. Here in this, the light reaction are this is independent of light, that is known as light independent reaction. Here the light is not necessary, and is also known as biosynthetic phase, and it occurs in the light it occurs both in the light region and also dark region, or you can call it as a bright light condition or also dark conditions. So both, it means just it is independent. It doesn't mean that it is occurring at the night time. What does the light independent reaction occur? It is independent of the light, that is known as light independent reaction. So here in the previous we have seen that NADPH and ATP is produced. So the here NADPH it is going to combine with the carbon dioxide by utilizing ATP to produce a glucose, while which requires several steps including RUBP, ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate. It is a compound. It is going to combine with carbon dioxide also. As a result, together NADPH, RUBP, both are going to combine with carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is reduced to form C6H12O6. So it's a glucose. Okay, so by this way it is going to form. At the end of the reaction, the glucose is converted into starch. So these glucose molecules, there are many glucose molecules. These glucose molecules are going to turn into starch. Okay, it is going to turn into starch. So where this is going to occur, it is an enzymatic reaction. This enzymatic reaction, okay, enzymatic reaction of conversion of glucose to starch molecule, it is going to occur in the stroma of the chloroplast. Okay, and that's it. I hope this lecture is helpful to you, and if you have any doubts or questions or suggestions, write it in the comment section, and we will reply to you. Okay, and we will discuss the next topic in the next lecture. Okay.